Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the final part of 31 and 31. Hopefully I can finish this out by the end of the week. The first two books for this vlog are Try Me by Tana Fesk and In the Family Way by Laini Katzbecker. This is my Kindle read, this is my physical read. This is a small town romance. A girl comes to town and she has like ties to these like multi-million-dollar mansions that are going up that the town's kind of trying to not have anything to do with. They don't want them there, and the family that kind of not owns the town, but like, you know, there's always that one family that's been there forever that everybody knows. They're the ones trying to like stop this development from happening, and the son from that family meets this girl and there's an instant attraction and everything, and they're trying to fight this whole the rich taking over their town thing together now, kind of. So I have started this because I started at the gym yesterday, but it's just a really quick, easy, breezy read. Very spicy, so keep that in mind. This is the first in a series. I probably won't continue the series, but I think it's going to focus on that family. And it's cute so far. I'm enjoying it, but like I said, pretty baseline, just boy meets girl in this town, immediate attraction. They're obviously acting on that, but then there's also this like development story going on with like the rich folk versus the townsfolk. So far so good. And then we have In the Family Way, which was a proof that was sent to me by Harper, and this follows a bunch of different women in 1960s America, like housewives. So you've got a little blast from the past here. I mean, obviously I didn't live during that time frame, but you've got like women that do not work, they're at home with the kids, and it's like still bad to be married, to be unwed and pregnant. So you've got a storyline in there with this teenager that is living with one of them that is unwed and pregnant, and she's kind of like just helping around the house, and then that woman is going through another pregnancy, and then you've got DA stuff going on in one household, and then you've got another household where there's a baby on the way that maybe isn't wanted. So you've got a lot of different things going on, a lot of different dynamics. But everyone's obviously trying to make it look like everything's going okay in their lives and in their homes, but you're getting a peek behind the curtain to see that it's not. So far very interesting, very quick read. The writing in this is just very palatable, so that is really great. But yeah, that's all I really know. It's probably all I'm really going to be able to say. I don't really want to like go too deep into each woman's story because it's the whole purpose of the book, but that's the kind of setup that we're at right now. So I also started this last night, didn't get very far, but I have met, I believe, our cast of characters. So I will update when I'm done with one of these and to what our next book will be. Okay, update time. I finished Try Me by Tana Fesk. This is a 3-star. It wasn't like, it didn't knock my socks off, but there was like nothing wrong with it. It was just a cute small town romance with a little bit of like, you know, family drama intertwined in there, which we always get in the small towns. But there wasn't like too much turmoil or anything too, which I kind of liked. But yeah, just a standard 3-star romance. Nothing out of this world, but also there was just like nothing wrong with it. So 3 stars. I will not probably be finishing this series up. It was cute. It was a fun little summer read, but just not enough for me to like add it to my series list because it's already too big. So my next Kindle read is going to be Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. And I believe that this is a woman that has like face blindness, and then there might be like a love triangle because I think there's something with her vet and then her neighbor. They're both vying for her attention, and I think because she can't really see who's who, there might be some like confusion and stuff in there, and I think it's going to obviously have some type of like emotional connection in there because it's Catherine Center and that's just how she writes her books. So excited for a more emotional romance. I've been reading a lot of light fluffy ones, which is great, but I love a good emotional romance too. So this will be my next Kindle read, and I will update when I finish another book. Another update, I just finished up In the Family Way by Laini Katzbecker, and I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I am starting to enjoy like just general fiction, women's fiction books. They're becoming a favorite genre of mine. I'm still a little like afraid to dip my toe all the way in, but every time I read one, I absolutely love it, and I don't know why I don't try to find more books like this. But this really is just about following a bunch of housewives in the 60s and all the different paths their lives take. There are a lot of women's rights that are talked about and dwelled on in this book, and it's scary reading something like this, knowing what is going on in our country right now, and where we were just 60 years ago. It's terrible to say that the 60s was 60 years ago, because in my mind it was 40 years ago, but it's really 60 years ago. It's crazy that in some ways we haven't moved on from some of this stuff, or we're moving back towards that. And I think that was the purpose of this book and this author writing this. I would read trigger warnings if there is anything about pregnancy or abortion or anything like that that bothers you. Read your trigger warnings, please. But other than that, like, I really do think that this is a book that a lot of people should read, because it puts a lot of things in perspective. It makes you think about where we were, where we went to, and where we're going back to, and it's frightening, but it was a thinker. Definitely a thinker. Very easy read too. Like I said before, the writing was very palatable. It was very easy to get through. The story flowed well. The chapters are very short because you're switching between a bunch of point of views from each of the women. So it does help the story flow really, really quickly. I'm now going to be reading Retreat by Krysten Ritter, and I really don't know much about what this is about. I bought this from Book of the Month because I saw so many things about it, and I don't know if it was just because this woman is also an actress, so there was a lot of publicity about the book, but the little snippet really just says, a beautiful con artist insinuates herself into a wealthy socialite's life with deadly consequences in this serpentine thriller about identity and obsession. So, very short read again too. All of these books were short reads this month, but I'm excited to see if it holds up to what I saw when it was like just coming out, all the like hubbub about it. So this will be the next book I'm reading, and we already went over my Kindle read. So once I've finished one of those two, we'll be back to talk about the final two books. Super duper quick update. I finished up both The Retreat and Catherine Center's Hello Stranger. So The Retreat, we were following a con artist as she like tries to basically take over somebody's life, and there's like things that go on with that. She moves to a different country. She's trying to outrun her last con by taking over this other woman's life because she kind of looks like her and everything, and she like thinks she's getting away with it, but obviously it wouldn't be a thriller if she was. So there's a lot of like twists and turns in this, and I think that like the overall like twist and what actually happens in this was like really well thought out and well executed, and it was like the perfect length. I think a thriller should be like 300 pages on average, because anything more than that I feel like is just too much. Like, get in, get your story told, do your twist, get out. And that's what this did. So I ended up giving this like 3.75. I really did enjoy it. I liked the twist. I think it got a little unhinged at the end, but I think that was the whole purpose. But yeah, 3.75. And then I read Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. I freaking adored this book. Again, there was a lot of emotion. It is a Catherine Center book. There is a lot of like self-understanding, and our main character, Sadie, is trying to like obviously figure out her life as a portrait artist after having this facial blindness because of a surgery she had to have. And the like romance in here is very sweet, and like you kind of see what's coming. I think was pretty obvious what was gonna happen, but I think it was really cute, and it was just addicting. Like, Catherine Center's writing is so addicting. Her stories are just so heartwarming and lovely that I just didn't want to put it down. So I gave this 4.25. And now I'm going to move on to The Ministry of Time by Kayleen Bradley. This, I think there's a romance in here. I don't know, but it is just like kind of a time travel, a little bit sci-fi, a little bit of fiction. I fully thought it was like straight up sci-fi when I bought it, but I've read the first 60-ish pages now, and I think there's going to be a lot more to it emotionally and everything than just like a sci-fi book. So I think it's also going to focus more on different things and not just like the sci-fi nature of it, I think, based on how I've read it. But we're following this Ministry of Time that pulls people that they know died in like certain battles and stuff in history. They pull them out of history before that happens, because they are convinced that's not going to affect like the time loop and everything, because they died technically in their time anyway, and they bring them into the current time and try to like assimilate them into normal society. So we're just following our main character and then her charge that she has, which is this guy from like the 1880s. So obviously he's got a lot of catching up to do on where the world is now, and it's kind of getting him to understand that and everything. And I'm not understanding exactly why they're trying to do this, other than they figured out time travel and they're trying to use it. but it's interesting so far. So we'll see where it goes. I'm not exactly sure. I have feelings where it's gonna go, but I'm not sure if I'm right. So that's that one. And then there will be one more book, I believe, after that. So when I finish up The Ministry of Time, I'll do another check-in. Time to do another update. So I finished The Ministry of Time by Kayleen Bradley. This was such a fascinating book. I really don't know how else to explain it other than like this Ministry of Time discovers time travel, and they bring people from the past that they know die into the future so as to not disrupt the timeline, and each of them is assigned a person in the current time called a bridge. And there is a little bit of a love story in here, but there's just like an understanding of like a deeper experiment that's going on in this ministry and within this ministry, but there's also a lot of like other topics that are discussed that are like a little bit more think pieces, I guess I could say. But the way it was just so unique. Like I've not read anything like this ever. It's a genre that's not really one I reach for, which is always exciting to kind of get out of my comfort zone. So 4 stars, really enjoyed this. I will look forward to seeing if she releases anything else. I think this was her debut. I don't know. I've never heard of her before. But yeah, new voice in contemporary fiction. So debut novel. We'll see what her next book's like. But this was just such a fun, interesting time. Book 31. The book we've been waiting all month for, because I'm hopefully going to finish it in the next 2.5 days, is The Breakup Pact by Emma Lord. So this is my second Emma Lord book this month, because I did read For the Record at the beginning of the month, which is her newest book that just came out. And this is about, I think, 2 people that get broken up with, like, publicly and then get together and, like, curate their lives on social media to make it look like they're happy and they're over it and they're okay with the breakup. And then, obviously, real feelings probably come from that. This was a book I got in my Afterlight subscription from Illumicrate last summer. And then I didn't read it in the summer, so I was kind of holding on to it till now. So the perfect little summer read. And once I'm through part of it or finish with it, I'll come back and do a final update and we'll close out this vlog and this challenge. Final update and final part of this challenge. So I finished up The Breakup Pact like 15 minutes ago. It is the 31st of August today, so it is the final day of the month. I have just now finished the 31st book. Technically, I finished the 31st book yesterday, but that was a arc that is not part of this vlog. So I really enjoyed this. We're following June and Levi as they kind of both come back to town for different reasons. June's been back in town for a little bit. Levi comes back because they both have just had really bad public breakups. And they've always had a connection. They've always been really close. And they get caught just kind of like hanging out and everyone thinks they're like the revenge exes. So they lean into that and decide to like fake date to make their exes jealous. For Levi to make his ex jealous because he still wants to be with her, and then for June to help her scone business just because it's kind of struggling right now to get the publicity for that. And then of course we all know what happens when fake dating comes into the picture. But this goes a little deeper because they were like really good friends and really close as children and all through high school and everything, and then they had a falling out. So there's a lot of that as well. But really enjoyed this. It was a cute, fun summer read. I like Emma Lord's writing. I think that the way that she has her characters handle their stuff, because, you know, it's a romance, there's always got to be stuff, is very adult and very well thought out. I'll just say that. So I do enjoy that. I will be reading more of her books. I don't know if she has any other ones. I'd have to go back and look at if there was a backlist before this book, but I did just read her most recent one, and obviously there haven't been any more that have come out in the past 3 weeks. So 4 stars for this. Really enjoyed it. I also gave The Ministry of Time 4 stars. Really enjoyed this as well. Step out of my comfort zone. 4.25 stars for Hello Stranger by Catherine Senner. I adore Catherine Senner's writing and the way that she tells her stories. Like, cannot wait to read more of her books. 3.75 for Retreat by Kristen Ritter. This was just a fun, interesting little quick thriller mystery. I gave In the Family Way 4 stars. This was definitely a step into some deeper diving of some political issues as well as just like how things were back in the 60s. And yeah, as a woman, I think that this book was really powerful. And then finally, Try Me, I gave 3 stars. Fun, good, quick romance. Nothing absolutely out of this world, but again, nothing really wrong with it. So I did enjoy, would recommend. All right, so that is the final part of this challenge, final part of this vlog. This has been fun. I'm hoping I can carry this reading pace on into next month because I am doing series next month in September. You can watch my TBR. I just released that a few days ago. And I'm going to try to get through as many series that I've already started that I own physical books for next month. So check out that TBR video. Let me know if you've read any of these books, what your thoughts are on them, what your plans for the month of September are. And I thank you so much for watching if you've made it this far, and hope to see you all in the next video.